Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Dr. Stone Season 3, Episode 6. About halfway through the first core here. And we're setting off on our adventure as per usual. Flying through. And they're talking about revival fluid. And about a box of treasures. And they had all of these materials on the space station when Senku's dad came down, and they're keeping them in a pod. They're keeping them in the space pod, which is why a lot of the villagers are named after precious minerals. You know, Kohaku, uh, ruby, sapphire, emerald, a lot of jasper. You know, a lot of these villagers are named after these precious gemstones because his dad figured that they would be valuable, a valuable asset at some point in time. And yes, they are, because apparently Senku has the ability to use platinum in order to get unlimited revival fluid. Which I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, and bear with me because I am a little bit sick. Um, Magma talks about how if they do find people there, they can just kill everybody that's there. This is kind of in the past where he's making a wedding ring out of the diamond they have. So he has, you know, diamonds and all of these other minerals that they're keeping, and this is what Senku's after. We don't actually get to the island in this episode. We kind of get to it at the end of the episode, and we'll be on the island next episode. They're worried that there's people going to be there. They don't know if they're friendly or not friendly. They're not sure if the Y-Man is there either. So very cautious when going onto this island. Senku's like, "Yup, we'll just be there in a couple of hours." So apparently Senku also asked Ruri about the 100 tails, and they are an extremely long set of tails. You know, we're talking like over one night. They're still only on the 8th one. But so Senku is just kind of like, you know what, get to the point. You know, why everybody is, you know, named after stones. Apparently, kin, like Kinro, apparently it means gold, which I did not know in Japanese. I did not catch that, being I am not Japanese and don't really fully understand it, even though I watch a good amount of anime. Um, but Chrome's like, yeah, I never had platinum, not a big deal. Um, but the idea is to get to the island, and then that's basically what the entire like first half of this episode is generally about. So I'm just kind of skipping along. Um, then we meet this person who has no name. His name is Soizu, who he didn't actually come from Ishigami Village, we learned. I've never even seen him before, too, or didn't even recognize his name, but apparently he's been there in the background the entire time. I'm sure if I go back and watch the episodes, he'll be there. Apparently, he drifted up on shore, and his adoptive mother raised him, but he said he never said his name to anybody, didn't say anything, because if he did, it would be, you know, out of place, being everybody's named after like some sort of mineral, and he doesn't know what his name means, and it's actually named after the space shuttle that came down where the island is. So that, you know, gives Senku some motivation. Okay, yep, let's go there. Because you definitely came from this place. Thank you for speaking up. The old chief is like, why didn't you say anything before? I didn't realize he was on the boat too. Rory and Kohaku's dad is on the ship as well. We got to see him, and that's what we found out. So yeah, interesting stuff. Moving on, they get seasick, and Senku is able to, you know, alleviate the seasickness at some point in time with his lab. Let's see if we can actually get to that point. Yuri talked about the ship, and they kind of go on in detail, describe all the parts of the ship. Like we have obviously the jail cell is in there. We have a portable science lab. We have the giant crazy engine, a kitchen. Yeah, there's the seasickness part. Let's see if we can actually get an inside look at the entire ship. Yeah, there's the bridge. Got the sonar up top. Sleeping area. You got goats for food. And apparently Usuria is just an expert at doing it. So Senku then uses his lab to, use something called the Devil's Trumpet. It's a type I've seen that type of flower here before, so I think it's local. Either that or you can buy them. Apparently, it's super poisonous, but if you concentrate it, it turns into a medicine that alleviates seasickness, which is pretty interesting. We then get drifted into a giant storm, and there's my thumbnail right there, Senku freaking out. And he was like, well, these people on this island, if they had the technology, they would have come around by now. So they're probably primitive too. So yes, let's use our technology on our ship in order to get the upper hand and sneak up on them, which is exactly what they do. Soizu is then, like teary-eyed, like, yup, how could I forget? This is definitely where I came from. And it's kind of weird. Next episode is called Ray of Despair, Ray of Hope. So maybe that means we're going to run into the Y person next episode. I'm not really sure. But I think it's very interesting that they were just like, let's just introduce this random character that we've had zero interaction with, no one's talked about, and maybe he's been in the background. I have no idea. I don't remember ever seeing this character once. Like, I legitimately don't remember ever seeing him, and then he just kind of pops up. Maybe they mentioned him at one point in time, and he was just so unimportant. Maybe that's the point. But I just find it like oddly convenient that this guy is named after the space shuttle that's on this island. But who knows? Rusui is happy that Francois was able to make him some nice tea with a little rocket ship. That was kind of cute. But I do find it weirdly convenient that he just happens to be there. Maybe that was the purpose all along. I honestly don't know. But rating-wise, I think we're going to give this one probably a 7 out of 10 because, it's just kind of like a regular episode, kind of a little bit of filler. You got this little bit of the science in there, but not a whole lot is going on. You get a little bit with Senku making the nausea medication out of that flower. And then obviously, we have them going into a storm. We get a little bit of backstory on this new character, so that way we understand where he's coming from. We get a little bit of backstory on, why they're going to this island to collect these precious minerals, because they'll be very useful. And that's basically the entire gist of the episode. I mean, really, not a whole lot going on. Not good, not bad. Somewhere in between, which is why it is getting that 7. So this one, I think we're just going to cut short. There's not a lot to talk about. What I think is going to happen is next episode we're going to show up on the island, and what's either going to be one or two things. They're either going to be friendly, they're going to get the minerals, they're going to add more people to it, and they'll be going to be good to go, or they are going to be not friendly. We're going to get into some sort of battle with all of the team muscle, and then there's going to be some sort of crazy epic battle, which that's not really what Dr. Stone is about, so I'm thinking it's going to be the later. Oh, and the last thing I forgot to talk about was apparently if you get a group of people, over 150, you start forgetting names, start forgetting who they are, what they do, things along those lines. So it gets to a certain point where you don't remember. But if they use the platinum to revive everybody pretty much in one shot all at once, everybody will have their own groups and be good to go. You won't have people like Tsukasa trying to stop, the petrification, things along those lines, because too many people will be revived at once and you won't be able to stop it, and there's nothing that they'll be able to do, and then they can rebuild the world, hopefully as it once was, or even better. That's where I'm going to end it. Thank you for watching. My name is Steve Gray. Hit that subscribe button on your way out, and as always, have a good one.